There's an investment strategy that I've been using with a lot of success, and it has two simple rules. Number one is that the management had to have been very successful in the past, preferably multiple times. And number two, the second requirement is that the stock is cheap. This is part two of my Mining Stocks for Dummies series, and we're going to build a portfolio together in this video using companies that meet these two requirements. First up is Robert Friedland. Robert Friedland is one of the world's most successful mining financiers, and we have two companies of his that we're going to consider adding to our portfolio. Number one is Ivanhoe Mines. So as you can see, Ivanhoe Mines stock has performed very well over the past 5 years. Now, although the stock price is way up, this actually isn't a bad valuation in my opinion. However, I wouldn't call it cheap. So we're going to keep it on our watch list. And if the valuation of that company declines by a substantial amount, well, then maybe we'll consider picking some up. The next Robert Friedland company is Ivanhoe Electric. Although the stock price of Ivanhoe Electric is down quite a bit in the past year, I still wouldn't call it cheap. I still think it's a pretty expensive stock compared to what assets they have. And there's a lot of unknowns in the company. They're using new technology that we don't know how well it's going to work. So I'm going to hold off on buying Ivanhoe Electric for now. Next is Robert Quartermain. Robert Quartermain started out his career at Tech, where he had a lot of success. And then he built Silver Standard Resources from nothing into a huge company. And then he did it again with Pretium, ended up selling that Bruce Jack mine for, I forget the amount, but I think it was a few $1 billion. And his current project is Dakota Gold. For a while, I thought Dakota Gold was just way too expensive. And by the way, when I'm talking about cheap or expensive, I'm not talking about the stock price. Like a $10 stock can be cheaper than a $2 stock because what we're talking about is their market cap relative to what assets they have. So for a long time, I thought Dakota Gold was overpriced, and it's finally getting down to the point where I could start to buy it a little bit. I'm not going to aggressively buy at this point because I don't think they have enough in their portfolio, but I am willing to invest some money in this management team at this price, and I'll look for a better price to add even more to my position. The next super successful entrepreneur that we're going to look at, he has a few companies, and that is Amir Adnani. And the first company we're going to look at is Uranium Energy Corp. It trades under the symbol UEC. And as you can see, it has run up like crazy over the past few years. Now, if they had added a lot of value in that same amount of time, it might not be so overvalued. Now, during that period of time, the uranium price has gone way up, which is a big contributor to the stock price going up so much. But at this current stock price and considering what assets they have, I think it is way overvalued, and there's no way we're putting it in our portfolio at this price. The next Amir Adnani company that we're going to look at is Gold Mining Inc. So for a while, I thought Gold Mining Inc. was way overvalued. However, I think now, today, we can get it at a pretty good price, and Gold Mining Inc. is definitely going in our portfolio. The next Amir Adnani company is Uranium Royalty Corp, trades under the symbol UROY. And with this, I think today we're getting it at a pretty decent value. So I think we can put this one in our portfolio. Something about Amir Adnani is that he has so many companies that he's involved in. He's a CEO, a director, or a chairman in every single one of these, and he's also involved in other companies that you and I can't buy because they're private. My one big holdup with Amir Adnani is I'm afraid he's spreading himself too thin, being involved in so many companies. However, I have to admit, the guy knows what he's doing, and he knows how to promote his companies, and he knows how to run companies very well, and apparently can juggle a bunch of different ones at the same time. Normally that's a big red flag, but he seems to be one person who's able to do it. So because he's involved in so many companies, I might not put so much money into each one of these as I would invest in some of the other companies that I'm going to invest in. But the next one on our list is Gold Royalty Corp. It trades under the symbol GROY. And of the Amir Adnani companies we're going to be looking at today, this Gold Royalty Corp is the one that I would put the most money in. So that is going on our list. Next super successful entrepreneur that we're going to look at is Keith Neumeyer. He has two companies that we're going to look at, and the first one is First Majestic Silver. The stock price is way down over the last few years, so by that it looks cheap, but you could make an argument that the company is actually still not cheap because they've had some major problems. However, given Keith's history in turning around mines, I think that they're going to be able to make it work. And also, I think First Majestic Silver will be one of the better performing companies in what I think will be an upcoming bull market in silver. So we're going to put First Majestic in our portfolio. And the second Keith Neumeyer company that we're going to look at today is First Mining Gold. This is a gold development company in Canada. They have two big projects in Canada, and the developers are hated right now. So you look at basically any gold developer across the board, and their stock price looks something like this. I think First Mining Gold is very cheap right now, so we're going to put it in our portfolio. And when we get a change in sentiment, I think that this one is really going to take off. The next super successful entrepreneur that we're going to look at today is Neil Woodyer, and the company is RS Mining. So RS Mining currently has two operating gold mines in Colombia, and they have an enormous growth pipeline over the coming years. I think they're going to build out their company to be a 1 million ounce per year producer. And if they're able to do that over the coming 5 or 10 years, this stock price is going to go crazy. So we're putting RS Mining on our list as well. By the way, don't take this as investment advice, and always do lots of your own research before investing any of your hard-earned money, especially in the mining sector, because the mining sector is very risky. If you'd like to see part 1 of this video, I covered some other entrepreneurs and their companies, and we have another list of 8 more companies over there. So click on this video right here, and I'll see you over there.